All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. It looks like there's somebody who is kind of freeloading on our stream this week as we record our 275th episode, very special edition, as we finally got to see Spider-Man No Way Home. Very excited about this. So, Darryl, would you mind going ahead and introducing yourself?
Yeah, you guys hear Parker in the background. Actually, you know what? That's appropriate because her name is Parker. So,
That's right.
Hey guys, I think this is first time in like a little over a year, right? Sometime last year, mid-pandemic, with Joe.
Yeah,
that must have been an episode I wasn't on, actually, but few and
Probably
far
a better
between.
episode.
Yeah. So, Darryl, what's new with you, man? The podcast life has maybe eluded you a little bit for the recent term, but
It has. Yeah, it's been difficult with all the pandemic, trying to coordinate with my co-host, and then
And
as you
kids.
can hear,
yeah,
wrangle the kids in the background.
yeah, no doubt. So we just kind of wanted to get together and shoot the shit about this movie this week because there isn't really that much news around the holidays. It's going to be this way for like the next month and a half. All right, good stuff will start coming out around March. We'll have some movies to fill in between then and some stuff, but we got a couple trailers and we just kind of want to hit this hard. But Darryl, as an outsider, I have to ask you, is it fair that Brick is trying to come in and steal the draft from us?
So there's two I guess ways I've been thinking about this because I've been following this controversy for the past week or whatever. On the one hand, Brick did lay it out in a way that opened up the possibility for DreamWorks princesses to be included. He said it, and you guys like just sort of breezed by what he was saying, and I was like, oh fuck, like he meant this, and you guys just heard like, oh, people who aren't princesses, so like Mulan's not a princess. Yeah, that's fine. She's not technically a princess or one of the 13 canon princesses, and Brick took advantage of that. That being said, no, he's an asshole for doing it, and
Thank you.
he should not win. He should be disqualified.
I will say, I will say,
official ruling right there.
We
No,
screwed
no,
up
no,
on
no, that's
our
not
end
official.
because we should have called out Brick. Well, you did call out Brick Smithers, but we shouldn't have let it happen. But to Brick's defense was she's still a princess. Brick knew that we were only drafting any Disney franchise related characters, and he still did it. But the fact that we let it happen,
Yeah.
we screwed up.
I honestly
Yeah.
didn't know to begin with. I thought I just saw Pinocchio and I saw like all of the Disney themed characters, and I was like, that's definitely some sort of Disney property. What a sneaky pick that is. But bottom line is the numbers don't lie on the Twitter poll. I won.
We didn't even
Final.
we haven't even pulled Darryl into your bullshit chicanery.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that. I mean, if you can't win on your own merit just by having good picks, is it really worth winning?
According to who? So more people, all Smithers friends, follow his Twitter, the Chumpcast Twitter, so I can't tell my friends to go vote for it.
What you should be doing is telling them to go vote and not telling them to go vote for you.
That would be the partial thing to do as a representative of the Chumpcast. I could go on in my capacity and tell my friends, hey, everyone, don't vote for Smithers over anybody but him. I'm allowed to do that. You, as a Chumpcast representative, should say, hey, I would really appreciate if you guys would go on and support the work that we're doing and make a vote. If you want to vote for me, sure, awesome. If not, thanks for joining.
I'm
What is
wondering
this,
if
so
we need to
you
start
run- what, you run for
anonymizing this.
governor?
Yeah.
Yeah, because those are definitely the cleanest elections, and everybody's super ethical when they're running for governor.
Yeah, just
That's
because you
the
canvass
candle
more-
that you hold up as the beacon in the night is
because
gubernatorial races.
Just because you canvass more and have a better slogan, fuck Smithers and Mark, vote for me, and I got more votes than you. Sorry.
You also didn't get
Them's
more
the
votes
breaks.
than everybody else.
We did.
No,
I did.
you're only counting Twitter, which was a tie. That
Which is
doesn't
what
even
we-
count the Instagram or the Discord. You lose.
It-
This is not. No, we're not doing this.
That's-
We're not
only
giving you the
been-
victory.
It's only been official Twitter votes because we decided to not count all the other votes. It's too much of a hassle.
So, anyways, I've muted Brick. And
Hey, guess what? The fact that we got like 55 plus votes on Twitter, which was by far the most, and the fact that even if Brick did poach a lot of his votes, the fact that people were still most likely voting for his picks, it just, I don't know. I've lost faith in humanity.
Yeah.
I think we need to anonymize the draft results if we're going to post it on Instagram. And we could talk about it on the show. If people actually listen to the show, I got no problem with how they vote because everybody makes their argument here, right? It's when you post just 4 pictures and say, like, who did the best? Well, then that's, if somebody's listening and they don't know why you're picking this or they don't know the property that you're picking, then it's harder to do. But I think we should probably work on anonymizing it.
Loser talk.
I mean, you're just going to go and say, hey, everybody, this is my draft, so you should go vote for this. But, yeah, no, the proud man that's whose campaign slogan is, if you ain't cheating, you ain't competing, is telling us that we're losers. You are literally Donald Trump. Like, I didn't cheat. You're just losers. You're sore losers. This is the type of sociopath that you are comparable to.
Hey, if you want to establish better rules for the next season of drafts, please.
Well, we got to finish this season first because it's still up in the air.
Because I have already.
All right, muted. So let's move on. I love having that power, and he gets so mad when I do it, and he's trying so hard. He just got up and walked away because he's gonna go smash something.
It's like around the horn.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, so we got a lot to get to this week. Darryl, we appreciate you ruling in our favor. That is but gospel now. He did not win. Unbiased outside source. So let's move on to some trailer talk this week because I want to be able to spend a lot of time talking about Spider-Man. So I'm going to hit this little drop button. So I would be remiss if I did not mention that Mark actually put it together this week. As I mentioned, this was my first week back on the job, and shit just got away from me. So I appreciate you, Mark. Let's kind of do this. Darryl, as the guest, why don't you do this in order of things that you want to see the least to things you want to see the most?
Sounds good. Then what is it? Home Team, the untold Sean Payton story. That is, I don't even know like if we should even do. That's how low on the list I want to see this movie. I have no desire.
You don't have any morbid curiosity. Not
a fucking chance. It looks so garbage. It looks so bad.
Kevin James.
Yeah. It looks so bad. Kevin James looks nothing like Sean Payton. He's like 200 pounds heavier.
Looks like him, right?
So let's set the table for this. This is Taylor Lautner and Kevin James. Kevin James, we're going back in time here where he is playing Sean Payton the season where he got suspended from the NFL for Bountygate. So what was that, like 2016? Maybe, no, it was before that, like early 2010s.
Yeah, like 2011.
So instead of whatever Sean Payton actually did, which is probably, I don't know, hookers and blow, he decides to go coach his son's high school football team or be the offensive coordinator because Taylor Lautner is actually the coach. Yeah, I'm really excited to see how they shoehorn Steve Buscemi and David Spade and everybody else into this. Adam Sandler's going to show up at some point. I don't know who he's going to. Maybe he's going to be Roger Goodell. But I don't know what else to say about this. Mark, can you give me anything? You've got morbid curiosity. I know you.
I got the stories, man. I always got the stories. I got one story about Sean Payton just being shitty. And that was because my aunt went to Eastern Illinois where he went to college, where we also went to college. And she was in he was in her Spanish class, I'll call it, because it sounds like he didn't do shit in that class because she would always tell me before every test, he would ask if she would sit next to him. And then if not, he would still find his way to sit next to her and just cheat off of her because he never fucking was prepared for anything in that class. But regardless, I mean, we've all been there, but still it's Sean Payton. Not a fan of him anyways.
He went to Eastern Illinois. What do you expect?
Yeah, he's bound to be an absolute dirtbag. And I can confirm, I was bouncing at Ike's one night, which apparently was somewhere that he used to go when he went to Eastern. And it was the night that they retired his jersey or put him in the Hall of Fame or whatever. And he came through, and I was bouncing that night. And he just walks up with three gigantic dudes, and I'm like, all right, you guys can go in.
Yeah.
I'm not about to get my ass kicked over this fucking minimum wage job, but obviously they were welcome. Anyways, they spent some money. Sean Payton decided he was going to get behind the bar and make some cocktails, which was real weird, and he did not tip very well. So I feel like once you've won the Super Bowl and you come in and commandeer a bar, you owe it to us to at least tip out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And you got the money.
The drinks are $1.
Seriously.
And it's a college town.
He was like going up to all the girl bartenders, like letting him wear his Super Bowl ring and all this shit. I mean, I would probably also be like that for about a week. And then after that, I'd be like, all right, I'm an adult. I should probably be an adult. But what do I know?
Dude, I'm so surprised Taylor Lautner is back. Well, I wouldn't call this being back, this sort of Netflix movie.
And a made-for-Netflix movie about Sean Payton's suspension. Yeah, I don't know if that's back.
I was just like, what has that guy been up to? I mean, growing up, he was in all the movies, but they always give him a role where he got to show off like his backflips. You know, he was like training karate or martial arts or whatever. So I always thought there was maybe a chance he would go the MMA route, but he didn't. Now it just looks like he's kind of getting a little chubby. I don't know if he has a family now. He's just, you know, taking it easy, which is fine. But it's weird seeing him back in the spotlight to some sense.
Okay, but here's how it all fits together, because Kevin James famously in Here Comes the Boom. Now Taylor Lautner can come back and start his UFC career by doing it in Hollywood first.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that friggin' Kevin James movie.
It's terrible. And Henry Winkler is in it. And that's our movie this week. What would it be like if you tried to make it today? It's just like he's learning everything from TikTok videos or something, and he's going to fight in a UFC gym.
Yeah.
Jesus.
All right. Next trailer.
Yeah, Darryl, what's next?
I mean, the rest of them I actually was really interested in. I'll go reverse order. I'll go back to the top this time, though. The one that I'm actually most interested in, I know Smithers is for sure, is the unbearable weight of extreme talent.
Yeah, massive talent.
Massive talent. Sorry.
Yes. So this is the Nick Cage story, or maybe what he sees himself as. I don't know. I wonder if this is inspired by true events, or if this is just something where he's like, fuck it, I'll make this movie, because he says that to literally everything. But it seems like this one has some serious backing. Pedro Pascal is a huge name. Neil Patrick Harris is in there. I'm really, really wondering what other kind of cameos they're going to get. I saw Ike Barinholtz in there, and I didn't recognize a couple of comedians, but I know that they are comedians. So
Tiffany Haddish.
Yeah. So, Brick, you were kind of quiet on the last one. Why don't you kick this one off? What do you think?
This one looks fucking glorious. I don't know why. This looks actually funny. It's just like so referential to just Nick Cage as a whole and how he's just so over the top, and just him in the height of his career going to like some birthday party because he owes a bunch of money to like his landlord for staying at the hotel for like $600,000 worth of nights. So
yeah, wait, Darryl, can you elaborate on that? I don't know that reference. I assume that's some kind of Hollywood where just rich people. Is that like rehab?
No, you say like it was it was one of the Vegas hotels. He like lives in Vegas. So you stay at the hotels, you like rent out like a suite there for months at a time, and he just owed them money. Like they basically put him on a line of credit to buy the room.
I thought that was like a Hollywood reference. Okay, fair enough.
No.
I'm sorry, Brick. Go ahead.
It's no 405.
The 405.
Right.
Stop it.
Yeah, right.
I-405, actually.
There's
Slap you
nothing
in the
better.
mouth.
Yeah, so there's nothing better than just Nick Cage doing weird drugs at a weird place with a millionaire. Just looks like a funny movie.
I can't wait. I love Pedro Pascal, and I think that in the short time that we see them bouncing off of each other and doing the work, they have really good chemistry. So
you can just tell.
No, but anybody that's listened to this show, even one episode before, knew that I was going to go see this regardless. So,
is this going to be better than Pig?
Boy, that's going to be a tall order, because Pig is still top 5 movie of the year for me.
Have you seen Pig, Darryl?
Yeah, it's so good. Like, I was not expecting it. After your recommendation, I was like, all right, this is I was like emotional watching this movie. Like, Jesus.
I think he
Yeah.
deserves legit Oscar consideration.
Yeah. Yeah. He struck gold with that. I think this one will be equivalent to Pig, but on the comedic side, because, Pig being dramatic. But I think he like flexes the comedic chops, and like in the trailer, I mean, his timing is like on point. It's not forced. It's very natural, but like self-deprecating and referential at the same time. Like, this is gonna be a super meta movie.
His range,
Yeah.
just in wow.
I'm very interested to see what they do with the flashbacks, and whether they try to do the de-aging thing, or if they just go back and pull a clip from like Face Off or whatever, because you do see young Nick Cage in there.
Yeah.
I'm very excited, but Ike Barinholtz was all of us. Like, no, I didn't see the Croods. I'm a 40-year-old man. I saw Face Off. God damn it! I can't wait for this. I think it's going to be incredible. Mark, any thoughts?
My favorite part is just the scream that he has when he's pulling up Pascal, or when he's trying to pull him over the wall. It's just that we always are like, what is the most Nick Cage movie? And every movie they come out with, we're like, oh, that's the most Nick Cage movie. That's the most Nick Cage movie. This should technically be the most Nick Cage movie because it is about Nick Cage. I'm extremely happy this thing exists now. Can't wait.
Smartest thing he ever did was lean into being a gigantic weirdo.
Yeah.
Just good for his career. Finally got out of tax debt. All right, Darryl, I have to slightly disagree because I think that this trailer for The Bad Guys looks bad. I'm not interested in this.
That looks great. That's a great kids movie. That's my second least one that I want to watch. But I mean, it's got it's Owen Wilson, right, as the one of the voices, Aquafina. Like, it's got a great voice cast.
Sam Rockwell.
Yeah, like I think that's going to be. Oh, Richard Ayoade. Like, anytime he's in anything, like, I don't care what it is, I'm there. Like, 100%. He's an amazing like comedic actor. I thought that was actually gonna be a lot of fun. Maybe because I'm a dad now, I'm like, oh, like I could take Parker to see that and she would like it. We could watch this together and have a good time. Like, the Sean Payton story, no one wants to watch that in my household.
Except for you. Mark, I think maybe you can sympathize here. Like, we're still at the point where we can't bring a kid to the movies yet. You can sit down and like the kid will maybe glance at the TV for a little bit. And Darryl, I know you know this too, but I'm excited. What was the age where you started taking Parker to the movie theaters?
So she's never actually been to the movie theater. She's watched movies, and surprisingly enough, it's really weird. Maybe not because I'm a weirdo, but her first like movie that she watched all the way through was Infinity War, and then she would ask for it. Like, she's like, "Can we watch Thanos? Can I watch Thanos?" Like,
Daddy, I want the murder again.
Last year. Yeah, and she's like, "Can I watch Thanos?" I was like, "Okay." Like, that's kind of unsettling, but that's how you recognize that movie. But yeah,
Daddy, Thanos had some really good ideas. I want to see it again.
He wasn't exactly wrong. He just executed it incorrectly. I think I could do it better. Yeah. She watches movies now though for about 45 to 50 minutes straight, and then we'll do something and then come back to the movie. Like, Into the Spider-Verse is on in the background right now.
That's pretty good.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Brick, how happy are you that this movie's coming out? Because now you have, 5-6 more characters. If we ever did a Disney animation draft, you have these DreamWorks characters that you can just add to your draft list. It's
To
perfect.
his heist list.
It's absolutely perfect for you.
Yeah, you know what's glorious is just getting that Bayou guys in the first place and then winning, and then you guys are just so butthurt you guys can't actually let me win.
We're clearly the butthurt ones.
Yeah, you guys
All
can't
right.
accept that you guys lost.
Well, we
To
didn't.
me,
So
it's fine.
let's
Exactly.
talk about
It's fine.
Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Yes. So that would be like 1B.
Yeah, so this is A24 and the appropriate level of weirdness for A24, I think. Darryl, can you give me a setup here?
Yeah, so
I don't want to do it.
No, it's all good. So Michelle Yeoh looks to be like just a sort of down on her luck woman, and sort of like things like sort of fracture, and she's having like flashbacks of different lives, and someone, she's talking to this lady who like explains to her basically that like she's part of the multiverse, which is appropriate with Into the Spider-Verse on in the background. She's part of the multiverse, and like if you've ever seen, was it Jet Li, The One?
The one.
Yeah, it's just similar, I guess, setup to that, where there's like multiple U's across the multiverse, and she's able to like tap into their experiences, their memories, and their skills.
It's
So,
Highlander.
like-
There can only be one.
Yeah, actually, I didn't even think about Highlander being there, but it looks to have like the classic Hong Kong like kung fu film fighting style to it, which obviously Michelle Yeoh, is huge in the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style. It looks absolutely bananas, and I love everything that she does. So I was like, all right, I'm also booked into this movie for sure.
Mark, I know that A24 has a soft spot in your heart. Is this the right kind of weird for you, or is this more like Lamb?
No, as long as they don't have a sheep or a lamb or a goat in this A24 movie, I'm cool with watching it. To Darryl, to your point, no surprise here. I mean, she's a Chinese immigrant, it looks like, coming to America, and we're going to get all these different takes on the multiverse. And it sounds like there's one of them that she's trying to figure out how she could have saved the world to some extent. Like one of the different hers, I guess, or
Like iterations.
In the multiverse is going to be able to save the world. But I just hope there's a shit ton of fight choreography, which it looks like we're going to get. So I'm pumped for that.
He threw something up that guy's nose.
Yeah.
I didn't like that. Brick, thoughts?
Yeah, give me more of this action kung fu style. It looks fantastic.
Perfect. All right, last trailer. This is Sandy Bullock and Channing Tatum in The Lost City. This
movie was saved by Brad Pitt in the last part of the movie, because this is Channing Tatum being a fraud actor trying to go save Sandra Bullock and show her that he's more than just an actor, and then actual Brad Pitt, handsomest superstar, biggest just hero of all time, just comes in and saves the day. Actually saved the day. I can't wait for that dynamic. I think that's going to be a lot of fun if they introduce him early enough. I want Brad Pitt to be a major player in the movie. That's
the thing though, is if he only shows up for like 3 minutes, I'm going to be pissed.
Yeah.
I'm going to be pissed if he's fucking cameo like Deadpool.
Yeah, so
He'll be in it for a little bit and then out.
Sandy Bullock is an author who has no idea what she's actually writing about. It's just kind of bullshit. Those basically porn novels, erotica for middle-aged women. And Channing Tatum is the model, and she gets kidnapped by Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe himself. He's handsome, by the way. But did you notice how much shorter he is than Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum when he walked in?
Good God.
Whoa, he's like 5'4".
Very small.
Yeah.
Man.
No, I think he's shorter because Channing Tatum's like 5'8" or something. He's not a tall guy.
Oh, boy. Yeah,
He's not a tall
real
man.
short. All right, Mark.
The opening to the trailer, when they were talking about before they got into the trailer, it was Channing Tatum and Sandy, and just how big Channing Tatum's neck was. Did you notice that?
I can't unsee it since he talked about it. Like
His neck is just like
it's disproportionate to the rest of his body, though.
I'm telling you, man, it's the
his
ears.
shoulder. He doesn't really have broad shoulders, so it's just like, I don't know. I don't even know what I can compare his shape to. It's like head, neck, and it just morphs into the rest of his body.
It's an optical illusion.
By the way.
He's not 6'1".
No.
There's not a chance. No, I've been next to James Tatum. He's not 6'1". I promise you. He's like maybe 5'10". Like he's not a tall man.
When you play like high school basketball and they list you as 6'9".
At
Like-
2 pounds or at 2 inches 20 pounds.
Yeah, exactly.
Radcliffe is 5'5", by the way. That's pretty short.
Man, I almost guessed that spot on. I said 5'4", but yeah, that's tiny.
That might be exaggerating a little bit. Usually they do. He's probably around 5'4".
He needs to start doing movies with Tom Cruise so he can just look huge.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we're gonna move on.
Here's some money. Go see a Star Wars.
So for those who have kids, Bluey, I think you guys talked about it once before, but that shows it's honestly amazing. It really is cool to watch for parents with children. So there's stuff that like they take from it and stuff that you can take from it too. So I highly suggest Bluey. And And then reading Matt Fraction's Hawkeye run again, just I'm obviously appropriate with the season going on. And if you haven't, you need to. It's a masterpiece. Like Hawkeye sort of was always a joke, I think, for me before reading that. And after going through it, I was like, this is like heavy, really, really cool shit. So that's what I would suggest. So it's between Bingo and Dad. I mean, I really like Dad a lot. He's just the perfect amount of fun and practical, and like his body's breaking down like mine, which is always I can relate to. But Bingo is so cool, like the younger sister dynamic and trying to live up with her big sister. Yours? Yeah. Yeah. The antithesis. Yeah. Yeah.
It's actually a National Geographic original series that's on Disney Plus. It's called Welcome to Earth, featuring Will Smith, and I'm 2 episodes in, and it's pretty entertaining if you like the planet Earth stuff. There's the one, what is it, Deep Sea or whatever, any of those documentaries looking at the world we live in. I would recommend this. It's essentially Will Smith realizing he hasn't really been big into exploring, or when he's traveling, it's strictly for work. It's for his music career or his acting. And this is him just saying, hey, I need to appreciate the world that I live in a little bit more and see more. So he's going on all these adventures with guys that are, volcano experts, whatever those are called, volcanists. I don't know what you call those people, but the first episode, really cool. He actually goes like into a volcano, and it's Will Smith. He's like, oh, this shit is sketchy. He's like freaking out. It's fun though. And I'm looking forward to the rest of the season. You can tell he's out of his element. But that's what makes it for a good watch, is just Will Smith reacting to all this crazy shit that goes on in the world we live in.
Will Smith has great reactions.
Yeah. The fact that it's not called Welcome to Earth, though, that's that's a major knock. It has to have an F at the end. I'm sorry. Doesn't matter. It's been appropriated now. Yeah.
I recommend that everyone get freaking Halo already. Mainly talking to Smithers. I'm talking to Smithers. I don't know why you won't get Halo. We're going to be running customs today, 2 Central. So I made a fake account just so I can play with you, because I know you're terrible. I don't want to bring in the good, sweaty kids. I can play bad kids with you, so you won't feel bad. I'm trying to be inclusive, Smithers. The campaign single player until later. Trust me, download it. It's free. Will you do me the favor of downloading it? TJ plays. He's pathetic. He's pathetic at it. You should we were playing with him yesterday, and he was like 3-20, like bad.
Jesus.
Exactly. Join. You are on Forza 5 constantly. I don't. Right. I love playing games with you, Smithers. So please do me this. Do me this favor.
It's a blatant lie.
Mark, I could give or take if you want to play with mine. I don't care. Darryl, please join us. Please join us if you have time or have any Xbox.
I don't have the Xbox. I have PS5.
PS5 guy. Okay. I
respect it. Yeah.
You missed out on Halo though. It's glorious.
Yeah, the internet is ruthless though. Everyone was ripping that girl apart. She's what? She's got to be like 14 years old. She's probably seeing all these comments. I'm like, everyone's got to relax a little bit. You might have not liked it in that take, but she had what, 10 seconds of screen time, and everyone just immediately after that show ended went right to her. Fucking Badger the Vicious, like rip that dude apart, because that was the worst portrayal of any character in the anime. And I just want to mention, yeah.
I have a good draft idea for moving forward. Worst franchise fan bases to deal with.
Star Wars number
Star
one.
Wars obviously won one, but like I could see that being a pretty good draft if we wanted to kind of workshop a little bit later.
If you're in a theater, it's Marvel.
I don't know. You and furries, man. We're gonna get.
Would you say like Marvel, or would you have to say like Spider-Man fans? Or because I would go like like Star Wars, and then I'd say anime fans. Like
I was gonna say a broad anime. That's kind of what started it. Was actually
that's interesting.
Because I was gonna say is it failed because anime fans are so critical of it and they just got bad reviews right away, or is it just hard to convert anime into a live action?
Yes. Yeah.
Smithers, like, I do disagree with you on like the part where it I think you mentioned they were trying to separate themselves from the anime or something along those. Okay.
Yeah.
The reason why what was bothering me is I mean the opening scene is pretty much the opening episode of the anime. Like there was plenty of moments throughout the whole series where they kept going back to trying to recreate things that happened in the anime. And I think I would have been more fine with it if they had maybe something in the beginning that got us to get in the mindset of, okay, this is Cowboy Bebop, but they did their own thing. But there were too many times where they just kept trying to recreate scenes and it just wasn't working. I do think it was visually, it was cool. I didn't have too many problems with the cast. Yes, it came down to the writing. The writing was dog shit. I'm not surprised they are not going to do another season of this. Yeah, it's tough to make a show based off an anime, and we've seen it before. And this came, I was going to say decently close. It came closer than others. It just couldn't really execute. And I hope that kind of shows us moving forward. Maybe let's not go the same route we've always went with live action animes. Maybe we do something different.
I think you can do live action. I just think you have to make it either like a divergent story, like in between things that you know, and you can set it up and end it. Sorry, there's William's awake. Or you have to you can do the opening scene like shot for shot, and then just tell like alternate universe stuff. Like we've seen we have 3 different Spider-Man franchises that have been created, and they're telling similar stories but not the exact same story. I think you can get away with it if you just if you do it right. But this was the best live action adaptation that I've seen, though.
I agree.
John Cho.
Yeah. No, it's all good.
Okay.
So, controversy aside, we're doing a draft of Spider-Man suits that we love this week, and this is not going to count towards the totals or anything. We want to include Darryl because Darryl is a wealth of knowledge on Spider-Man, and we just kind of like cool-looking shit, and that's what we're going to do. So I think in the interest of being generous hosts, we will allow Darryl to pick the draft order.
Good. Yeah, I agree.
All right. So I'll follow the rules. I won't put myself first. I will go last. We'll go Mark, Brick, Smithers.
Okay. For sake of time, I'm just going to say what suit, not really get too deep into it. Spider-Man 2099 suit.
It's a good suit. It's got like the spikes and everything. It's very. You can tell when it was designed the first time.
Yes.
Because that was a very much of a timeline that aesthetic. It's not bad. I don't love the colors as much. I like the brighter suits, but good suit.
My suit, I'm going to go with the Far From Home. I'm going to go with the Far From Home suit. I just love the suit overall was awesome, but it also had built-in character too, Karen, and I just liked the suit dynamic. It had awesome abilities. It looked cool, crisp.
Yeah.
Going with that one.
All right, I'm
go
going to
wrong.
go with the original black suit from Secret Wars in the mid-'80s. I think it's just all-time classic. You had no I mean, obviously I wasn't alive at the time, but I like reading back on the history of it, you had no idea what was going on. And the fact that they leveraged that into the Venom symbiote, which then became a character of itself, which then spawned Carnage and all these other things, I think it's a great suit.
All right, so I'll do my back-to-back. My first one would be Future Foundation, which is after Johnny Storm dies. Spider-Man joins the Fantastic Four, but they don't call it the Fantastic Four because Johnny's dead. So they create the Future Foundation, but that dope ass, like the all white with the black highlights, just clean, and like it really shows off all the posing. Like if you read any of the comic, it shows off the posing really well because of all those long black lines. And then my second one would be the stealth suit. I think that might be my actually favorite suit overall. Just the highlight, the green, or I guess, if you look it up, it has the reddish picture, but that green and black stealth suit, I actually bought the Donovan Mitchell shoes that match that, because Donovan Mitchell's got Spider-Man shoes. So
Actually, kind of funny that
suit.
the stealth suit would be like neon green too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. But I mean, it's got the cloaking technology and all that shit in it. So I just think that's a badass looking suit, though.
Why can I picture that? Isn't that? Are we talking comics? The one that he created to fight Hobgoblin?
It was, yes. Yeah.
It was the Hickman run of Fantastic Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. We're not talking. Okay. I guess somebody could pick the stealth suit from.
Oh, yeah.
From
That's
what was that, Far From Home. They introduced it.
That's what Brick has. Yeah, Brick has that one.
The Karen
Sorry,
suit.
I'm talking comic book stealth.
But Brick, when you said Far From Home, are you just talking about the traditional suit that Tom Holland was wearing for most of the movie?
No, the
black and red.
Yeah, the Karen. The one with Karen.
All right. I missed that. Gotcha. Cool.
Gotcha.
All right, I've got a second pick here, and this is just metal as fuck. From the Amazing Spider-Man annual in 2011, they basically said what would happen if Spider-Man was Ghost Rider, and he's just a flaming skull. Again, the whites. I don't know what it is about Spider-Man. I think it's like the personality, but I feel like the suits have to be bright and just like really, really stark contrast to like the gray of New York City. So I gravitate towards those.
That makes sense. For my second pick, I am going to go with the Scarlet Spider-Man suit. That one, I'll just do it from the PS4 game.
The hoodie?
The one with the hoodie. I just like that. I think it
Ben
just looks
Reilly's.
cool.
Yeah, it's,
Yeah, I don't know. It's unique, and I just like the way that it kind of looks, to be honest.
It's trash.
So Ben Reilly was a clone of Spider-Man, kind of, sort of, for a while.
Yes.
Maybe we just don't explain it.
Don't, because I was just about to, like, I got fooled about all that whole storyline, and then I guess I wasn't fooled, but maybe I am now. I don't know anymore.
Am I getting well? Actually,
Cosplay-wise,
is that not Spider-Man?
No, well,
No, it is. No, it's 100% Spider-Man, but it might actually be Spider-Man, but it might not be actually Spider-Man. It's a whole. The Clone Saga stuff is just wild.
yeah.
All right.
We need to shout out Darian because he cosplayed that really cool looking cosplay suit
Yeah.
that you can rock.
Dope.
I
I
got
think
chumps.
that
Yeah,
was raw. I
it's
remember
simple and yeah, it's great. All right, Mark, you got
that.
two.
I know whose vote I got. Let's go.
All right, I got two. I'll let you guys make the call on this. I'm going to say the ultimate Spider-Man suit that Miles Morales wears. Can I use that one? He's
Yeah, why not?
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a Spider-Man suit.
And the next one I'm going to go with is I'll do the Iron Spider suit. Specifically,
Which one?
Yeah, I'm gonna use the comic picture, but yeah, the Iron Spider suit.
Well, okay, so that's different than the Tom Holland one. So
Yeah.
so we're talking about
the red and
red solid with like the gold highlights.
You know what? I'm gonna go with the Tom Holland one.
Okay.
Better choice.
I'm gonna pander to people. Yeah.
Better choice by far. It's not even pandering. That the Iron Man, Spider-Man, the Civil War, it's ugly. That's such an ugly suit.
I disagree. I think it's iconic.
Oh God.
But that's all right. All
Only
right,
iconic
Rick.
because of Civil War.
Well, I mean, so what? The movies that I
That's
watched when I
fine.
was a kid aren't good. They're just nostalgic.
Yeah. That's true.
All right, Brick, your pick.
I'm gonna go as the bombastic Bagman suit.
That's a great one.
Twice, Spider-Man has been forced to abandon his usual costume. When he lost his symbiote costume, Spider-Man was forced to use an old Fantastic Four costume with a paper bag mask and a kick me sign on his back. He was sent into action as the Amazing Bagman. Another time, he was forced to do it as the Bombastic Bagman.
Okay, pretty good. With my next pick, I'm going to take Spider-Punk because I just want to have the most metal
That's dope.
Yeah, Spider-Punk is raw.
metal group of all time. So, Darryl, this is your final two. You better make them count.
Yeah. So you got close on the one I was going to take, Mark. So you took Miles Morales Ultimate, but I'm going to take the Into the Spider-Verse spray painted Miles Morales. I think that one, like, I'm talking the whole, like the hoodie, the Jordans, the whole deal, that whole get up. I think that one is just, it's badass, for real. And then the last one I will take, I hate doing it, but I'm going to go with Superior Spider-Man, Doc Ock, taking over Peter's body, that all black with just the red like top half and the arm gauntlet or the wrist gauntlets. I think it's I agree with Smithers usually that like the bright colors are usually the way to go, but for whatever reason that one just has like an aura of like, I mean, Doc Ock, like he'll murder you, and I really like that.
Okay, there you go. That's, by the way, I think my favorite Spider-Man story of all time. Storyman. That would be a good comic book character. All right, my last pick. This is tough, but I think I'm going to go with the original Amazing Fantasy #5, like the iconic baseline Spider-Man. So at this point, he's got like the weird wing flaps. Yeah, it's the Steve Ditko version. What can you say about it other than it's just the thing that started it all?
Yeah.
And I
Amazing
do
Fantasy 15.
I love there's a clip of Stan Lee being interviewed every now and then talking about why Spider-Man wears a mask, like a full body suit, and they make hilarious reference to it in this, by the way, which we'll get into in a little bit. But he wanted to say that like you could look like anyone and still be Spider-Man, and I think that was important, especially at that time when that wasn't the general narrative. But Brick, your final pick?
All right. So you picked the
original suit.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So like Fantasy 15, Amazing Fantasy number
5.
15.
Yeah.
15.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's what it says.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that the same one as like the cartoon Spider-Man on Disney?
Nope.
I'll
It's
take,
different.
yeah, I'll take the original. Let me just see if I can find it on
Like the animated series
Like
you're talking
Spidey
about?
and his
animated
friends?
series.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah.
Or you're
If
talking
you're
about
doing like the 90s animated series, that's a different style suit. It's
Yes.
close, but it's different.
I want the 90s. Yeah, I'll go 90s animated suit.
All right.
Okay.
Mark, final pick.
Final. I feel like I got to throw in, even though I have the Miles Morales, call it the traditional suit that he wears, I need to just go with the traditional Spider-Man suit. Gonna go with the Todd McFarlane. I think when we think comic books, Spider-Man, if there's an image that's on a shirt or on a poster print, it's usually that #1 from Todd McFarlane Spider-Man run, with the big eyes on the on his mask. That's the one I'm going with.
Surprised nobody picked Toby.
Yeah,
a
I
good
was
suit.
thinking about it.
It's a good
That
suit.
one, Spider Noir didn't get picked. Any of them?
I don't. If you're gonna
You
pick
don't
something
think
out of
that
those
one?
games, I think that Spider-Punk is better. Scarlet Spider's better. Like it's
The one I was gonna choose was Spider-Man in the underwear.
yeah. yeah. All
was
right.
Solid.
So that's a good draft. I like that, and I like that we're not actually doing a competition on it because I would have had a hard time shitting on everybody's picks and trying to make it sound like mine were better. So good job, everybody. And with that, we get to the money shot. That fart means that it is movie review time, and obviously, we saw Spider-Man Far From Home. So we can talk about the Rotten Tomatoes and everything on this. Typically, with a movie like this, look, it's at 94%, 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. What are the reviews going to tell you that you don't already know, that you aren't already expecting? The only thing I will say is that
What year is this?
fuck variety. Because at every superhero movie, they put out a review that basically spoils every major plot point. And they did it again for this, including some of the cameo reveals. And that's just, it's shitty and unnecessary. And as such a giant publication, you would think that they would try to do better. It's, I don't know. It just really, really upsets me to see people tweeting like, what the fuck, man? I realized that this was going to be spoiled for me because I read your stupid embargo, lifted review. So
That's horseshit.
It really is, and it's just tacky. But let's get some of the other stuff out of the way. This is looking like it's going to do really fucking well in the theaters. And I want to ask you guys what your experience was like, because I was in a full theater. I didn't end up having trouble getting tickets. I bought tickets like 2 days ahead of time. Theater was full, which is something I haven't seen since...
Endgame?
Endgame? Yeah, I think so. So, Darryl, what was it like where you were at?
So I went to Universal City Walk, like right next to Universal Studios, and it was fairly full. I did like a 10:30 a.m. showing though. Cut out of work. Don't tell my boss. Cut out of work in the middle of the day.
Already on the phone with him.
Yeah, exactly.
Get Darryl the
so
partner.
I mean, I still got stuff done, so whatever. So I cut out, and it was fairly full, but the front rows were not. But all the other showings around it, so like everything afterwards was like all sold out. So that's why I had to choose the 10:30 anyway, because trying to see it anytime after noon like was impossible. So, and that's like I looked at like 8 theaters around me. Living in LA, there's a whole bunch of theaters that you can go to, and like everything was sold out. So I think it's going to do pretty well for itself.
I've got some numbers and projections, but Brick, what was it like for you?
Similar. I went 5:30 on Friday night, so pretty much almost prime time, not quite. But we had a pretty packed house. It wasn't full, but it was probably about maybe 75% full, I would imagine. There were some cheerers, there were some bad laughers, there were some clappers, the usual. It felt good to get an experience though, because you can feel the emotion. People that came and helped themselves, like exasperated, like oh, just like freaking out in their seats. It's like that's part of the theater experience. I'm here for it because it enhances the experience. But I don't know, be respectful.
I completely fucking disagree. Mark laid it out perfectly in the Discord when we were talking about it, and it's all it is a hey, look at me. I want to be the one who feels good for starting this round of applause, who starts the slow clap. It is prime like main character syndrome. You're a fucking psychopath if you clap in movies. They can't hear you. Think about what the point of an applause is. It's so that the people who performed and did a good thing can hear your appreciation for them. They can't fucking hear you through the screen, and you're a dick.
Yeah. There were some moments where there are moments where I'll accept it, and there's big moments in this movie, specifically 2. And by the way, we need to get into spoilers. You can't really talk about this.
We have to. Obviously.
Okay. I'll hold off for now. But those moments have no dialogue for a couple seconds, and they're put in there because I feel like the people making these movies know how the audience is going to react in a theater, and that's what happened. But there was plenty of moments throughout this movie where I was like, "Can you just stop? Like, just stop!" And people were trying to clap, and nobody was picking up on it, and I'm just like, you need to stop right now. It's just getting to be a little bit too much.
It's just corny.
Clapping is weak. Clapping is weak as fuck. But like gasping or like whoa, just like audibly can't control yourself is. I think that's funny and just adds to the experience because you're just like people are losing their shit in there.
Certainly more allowable. It's like you don't get mad about laughter. That's something you don't control, though. And Mark, to your point of movie studios adding in dead air now, they didn't used to do that. So I have this deep-seated hatred for it for actually missing shit in a movie theater when I was younger. But anyways. So in terms of box office, we're looking at 121.5 million domestic so far. I know a lot of people are going to be going to see this today. We're not going to know what it looks like until tomorrow, obviously.
I have a buddy who rented out a theater to see it.
I guarantee you we could have gotten a crew together that would have been enough to want to go see this. I know E-Man does that all the time.
Yeah.
He does that all the time. He covers like the cost of tickets for people in his area. It's great. It's a great community thing. So
shout out E-Man.
Absolutely. E-Man's movie reviews on YouTube. Check him out. So this is directed by John Watts, who's done the previous 2 Spider-Man movies. He's great. There's nothing else you need to say about it. It's really well directed. Everything's well done. He's supposed to be doing the next iteration of Fantastic Four, which, if they can go with the Hickman version, I think would be fucking incredible. I would love to see that story. The thing about Hickman runs is that typically the stuff is so hard to translate or even follow, and you have to be reading like 6 other stories at once, so I doubt we'll get that, but what are you going to do?
I mean, think about the Marvel Universe as a whole. You have to be watching Hawkeye, WandaVision. You have to be watching all these 6 shows at once to understand the full complexity of what this universe is. I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to integrate.
It'd be difficult, I think. Like, yeah,
I don't know what the run
is right. It's his stuff is like super layered, and you have to have like 8 different storylines all converging at like multiple points throughout. It'd be very difficult to pull off. It'd be badass if they did, but I would not hold my breath.
If they did another Avengers arc that was sort of Thanos, I would love them to do the Interstellar, his Hickman's run on Avengers. I think it's great. Yeah. It's basically like a rebirth, and you get all this other. It's incredible. I digress.
They just integrated an entire Spider-Man cinematic universe into Marvel's cinematic universe, almost seamlessly.
So imagine something that's 10 times more complicated than that.
Yeah.
Really?
Not kidding.
It's not
exaggerating, but
impressive.
It's worth it. It's a lot.
Yeah.
But if there's anyone that's going to do it, it's going to be motherfucking Marvel.
Yeah, maybe it'd have to be a 10-hour-long TV show, but I want to get us into spoilers. So, Brick, just give me your super high-level thoughts, and then we'll put our warnings up, and we'll just go fucking nuts.
Spider-Man, good. That's it.
All right,
it was
Mark.
Fantastic.
Very nostalgia-baited movie, fan servicey. Still great though. It's good. I mean, you're gonna have a good time, and that's what they went for. We can get into, okay, was it actually a good movie without those parts of it? But it's hard to judge because there was just so much fan service in it.
You're kicked off the show.
Yeah, which wasn't a bad thing, I guess. I'm going to say see it, though.
Darryl?
Yeah, I mean, first, it's obviously a see it for me, not even a question. But yeah, I was going to say the exact same thing, that this is the most fan-centric Spider-Man film.
Oh no, Darryl, we lost you.
No, okay. I will give my thoughts, and hopefully Darryl will get a better connection. I had issues with it. That, like, from an actual storytelling standpoint, a lot of stuff just didn't seem to make sense. It didn't matter. It mattered absolutely zero at the end of the day because the movie was incredible. I mean, it was super entertaining. It was funny. It was heartfelt. There's stuff that'll rip your heart out. There's stuff that'll make you feel for the characters. It's absolutely relatable. I thought it was great. So absolutely see it. With that said, while we try to reestablish with Darryl, I'm going to throw up the spoiler warning here. So you got 4 see-its. At this point, if you have not seen Spider-Man and you're worried that things will get spoiled for you, skip to the end. Check the show notes. Everything is marked with timestamps, but we are going to get real freaky naughty with it. So be warned. All right, so hit the transition button. Now the spoiler warning is up. that movie was bonkers. So where do we even start here? Obviously, if you've seen this, you know that you get the reveal of all of the Sinister Six showing up from the previous movies. You get Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield. And I realized after watching this that they have never once cast a Spider-Man who has lips. Because they're all just like...
Big takeaway.
That's really the best thing that I could take away from it.
Wait, are you
All right.
calling them all thin-lipped?
Yes.
Okay, you got a point. Especially Tobey Maguire.
Yeah, no, Tom Holland, because Tom Holland just like turns his lips into his mouth. He's just like, which is great for an audio medium. But
was this Tom Holland's best performance?
No, I don't think so.
Really?
No.
Even with the Aunt May part?
My question to you guys was going to be, which Spider-Man was the best?
Live
Tom
action.
Why is it? Why? No, it was fucking Andrew Garfield.
Oh, you mean just specifically in this movie?
In this movie, it was Andrew
In the movie,
Garfield. I thought Andrew Garfield was the best. He was the funniest, I think, of all three of them. And I think he got his moments. All of them had their moment, honestly. But I liked how self-deprecating he was compared to his franchise when they were like having those conversations. I just really liked him as a character. I want more Andrew Garfield Spider-Man universe. Make another one for him. I'm actually in.
I've always contended, and I'm back, by the way.
Okay, so Andrew Garfield surprised me because his monologues, for whatever reason, got me the most choked up. And I don't know what it was. Like when they were at the top of the tower, when Tom Holland swung away after Aunt May died, something about his monologue, and I was like, God damn. And I like started to tear up. But his role in this movie was perfect. The jokes that they leaned into with him, there was one part specifically that I loved. I mean, it's no surprise Marvel is able to make jokes on anything and everything. But when they said, like, we appreciate you, man, you were amazing, that kind of thing, like they're going off of, yes, amazing Spider-Man, but they're also telling him, like, you've gotten a lot of shit as your role in Spider-Man, but just know we do appreciate you still. We do. You are part of the cinematic Spider-Man universe. And I mean, there's a reason why you're in here. It's because we did appreciate you, even though it may not have seemed like it at times. That's what I took away from that. But overall, yes, he was. Oh, Darryl's gone again. Overall, Garfield, it was perfect having him in here.
I think it was also great for them to poke fun at them trying to make up for his lame ass movies and how bad they were. Because they made Lizard so bad. Like, Lizard was just lizarding all over the place, and they poke fun at Jamie Foxx falling into a vat of electric eels and being the dumbest villain origin of all time. I was a big fan of that, and also, I needed them to keep Jamie Foxx in this universe. Because he's just so effortlessly cool. He got a new chance. He didn't have to be the stereotypical trope of, you know, the nerdy guy who turns evil. Like, he's cool now.
You
got to keep him around.
He had an awakening of like being a swaggy ass like Electro, which was way cooler. And they even did some references to his like old uniform with some of the
eye,
like had the electricity, the eye, the mask. I thought that was cool. They did that like subtly, but they still like made him like a badass cool Electro. He's got like more swag to him.
That's a really cool way to show off a shitty old costume, is to do it like in electricity or pure energy or whatever.
Just fanfare out the ass. It's I loved it.
Why was Doctor Strange such a fucking buzzkill?
I felt like he was almost like a throwaway at this point. Like you think
he was just plot fodder?
Yeah, I guess I wanted more from him. I don't know.
All right, Darryl, I think we got you back now.
Am I back?
Yeah, I think so.
Beautiful.
Oh, thank God. Okay. Oh, man. As I want to weigh in on the Andrew Garfield thing, could you ask who's the best Spider-Man? And I think Tobey was a really good Peter, but Andrew Garfield is the best in the suit Spider-Man, both physically and his quips, the way he talks, is the best representation, I think.
Yeah.
Like, by far. And then Tom Holland is like in 85% of both. Like he's a really great Peter, and he's a really good Spidey. He's really good Peter, sort of like the brainiac Peter, not like the nerd Peter.
Andrew Garfield is absolutely the best, like, all-around actor out of the three, though. Like, it's not even close. So yeah. I think it makes sense that he shows up to be the guy that everybody loves.
Yeah.
And the Tobey Maguire reveal where he just walks through a portal and he's just like nonchalant and whatever. He looks old. I mean,
he looked good though. Like physically, he looked better than he did in Spider-Man 3. He wasn't like carrying a little extra, extra poundage like he did in Spider-Man 3.
I think in terms of quips and being funny, though, I thought that he was funnier than Andrew Garfield. And it's not necessarily the things that he was saying, but just like the fact that they could point to him, like the fact that he shot webs out of his actual arm. That's super fucked up and weird. And then Tom Holland asks him if webs come out anywhere else. And then you got a joke. It's the way that the chemistry they had was incredible.
Yeah, I would say that whole scene of the three of them in the scaffolding was like, that just made, I could have just watched just that like 10 minutes or whatever, like on loop, because their chemistry together was awesome. That was so funny. I was just absolutely just dying watching that.
Do you think, from a DC guy standpoint, this is going to come at no surprise, but one of the problems I've always had with Marvel movies is they're hilarious. They're great with the humor, the levity. And this movie got really emotional at points. You had really emotional scenes for about 2 to 3 minutes.
Longer.
But then you always jump back. You always jump to the next part of the movie, and it's always lighthearted again, making jokes. Do you ever feel like they should just maybe extend those scenes?
Dark.
Continue not make it dark, but like you're getting people emotional and just be a little bit more serious at times, because I just feel like they jump back and forth. They're always like, oh, we got to make this funny now because that got too serious.
I loved that they brought in like a joke, because not everyone wants to sit there.
They always do it. That's my point, is they always kind of do the same thing. Like DC always just gets super dark and it gets weird. But the scene specifically, again, when they're at top of the tower and they're talking about kind of what they all went through. And that was, to me, the most emotional part of the whole movie. I feel, and that was right after Aunt May died. But then they're back in the lab making jokes. Tom Holland's making jokes too. I'm like, your aunt.
That's Spider-Man, dude. That's what Spider-Man is.
I also
every storyline's like that for him.
Like, yeah, if Batman came in here and started laying down jokes, I'd be like, no, we can't do that. But like, if it's a part of their personality, it's like the D&D thing. Like, that's what my character would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Don't forget my parents are dead. That's all back. That's
you have a part. Mark has a point though. Like, I agree in a sense. I was thinking like, I think it's really Thor Ragnarok set it off for a lot of people with this criticism being like something that does come up where it's some really serious stuff going on, and then it's like, here's a joke to like make it not taste so bad, and then like here's some more medicine, and like here's another joke to like break the tension a little bit. But it's appropriate in this more than it would be in Ragnarok, because for Spider-Man, like, it is all a coping mechanism. Like, he gets his ass handed to him. Even like beginning of Spider-Verse, when Chris Pine's Spider-Man's getting stomped and he's still cracking jokes, like, with everyone around him about to stomp him out. He's still making jokes. It is a point, like, I guess, of his personality.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Darryl, can you do me a favor and just crank your mic down a little bit?
Gotcha.
Thanks.
It's all about, if they also land though. The jokes landed. If it was like, if the jokes weren't actually funny, they wouldn't be able to land those.
Agreed.
They actually had good jokes though, and good levity, and it was good timing, I thought.
Can we talk about a couple plot holes potentially? Because it didn't make sense to me. I mean, it makes sense from a storytelling standpoint, but why couldn't Doctor Strange at the end, when he's casting the big spell at the Statue of Liberty, why couldn't he just leave Ned and MJ and whomever else out of it like he was doing the first time?
And just have Tom just shut the fuck up?
Well,
maybe because he was holding an entire fabric of reality, Maybe he's just like, let's fucking do this. It either is what it is, or I can't. Because what's he gonna do? Fuck with it again and be like, maybe all right, maybe we got it this time. No, he's gonna be like, all right. I guess he did do that by just doing it one more time. But
Well, this kind of gets back into the whole
complicated
timing thing too, right? Because this comes off of the heels of Loki, where they kind of introduced you to the different timelines and the different universes, multiverses, if you will. So between that and the episode of Hawkeye that just aired, in which they reveal as a cliffhanger that Kingpin is Vincent D'Onofrio and is in New York and is at the top of everyone's mind, then the next day in theaters, you get Spider-Man No Way Home, where they bring back Charlie Murdoch as Daredevil, and everyone shits. That, by the way, that was the first time in the theater that everyone tried to fucking clap, and I almost murdered them. But yeah, this is, man, the way they time shit out, they've been doing this for a long time, and there's just nobody better at it.
Are they getting the same character to play Kingpin?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
And Mark, I mean, hand up, you flat out asked me last time we talked about Hawkeye. I was wrong. I didn't think there was any way in hell that they were going to make all that come back and tie together, but shows what I know.
Yeah, they're in New York, and I saw like the Steve Rogers musical sign. It's all, but it's not Christmas, so.
Yeah.
But he could still make an appearance. Does Spider-Man make an appearance in Hawkeye?
No, I don't think that. I mean, that would be truly fucking impressive considering the red tape that they would have to go through to get it on Disney Plus. But
oh, right,
no way.
Plus, actually paying Tom Holland, who's in the middle of everything. By the way, saw that Uncharted trailer again before this movie. Still looks kind of good. Might actually be good.
I'm kind of pumped for it.
Yeah. So, what else we want to talk about? I want this to just be like throw out shit that you liked, and we'll discuss it.
Let's talk about because I think we have differing views on Tom Holland as Peter Parker.
Okay.
I feel, Smithers, you have said this, he's your favorite Peter Parker. I liked him as Peter Parker, but I also don't really like how Marvel wrote him in these movies as Peter Parker, in the sense that the end of this movie made me really want 3 more of these movies, because that's the Peter Parker I liked. Like, had to navigate life, deal with issues by himself. And Tom Holland's Peter Parker was just, to some extent, given everything. Like, he joined the Avengers. He was given this special suit from Tony Stark. And that just wasn't the Peter Parker I was used to reading the comic books. But people that just watch the movies, it's fucking awesome when you have Spider-Man join the Avengers. Yes. Money grab for sure.
The
Makes
who?
Sense. Who? What do you mean?
The Avengers? What's that?
Yeah, who exactly? I just want to get your guys' opinion on how Marvel actually did with this Tom Holland Spider-Man from a general standpoint, because he seems a little naive at times, this Tom Holland Peter Parker. I think I do prefer the Tobey Maguire portrayal of Peter Parker in all the movies, now that I've gotten through 3 of these Tom Holland movies. But just want to get your opinions.
You just loved emo Spider-Man. Darryl, as the expert, I'll let you go off.
All right. How are my levels?
Good.
Is it better?
Better.
Okay. So yeah, I would agree if this was the first time we were seeing him, but like the same complaint with Batman is like, I don't need to see his parents die every single fucking time he's on screen. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't think you can do down on his luck Peter, because we had a whole trilogy of down on his luck, like literally just down on his luck, everything shitting on him for 3 straight movies. I like the idea in this one that he gets everything and then just loses it all. And so the next trilogy being more what you're looking for, like him trying to earn it all back, trying to get, deal with real life without all the, I guess, the advantages that he's been given, living the charm life that he did to start. But you
don't know what you got till it's gone, right? Like that's if you never have everything, you don't know when everything's gone. So I feel like that's setting it up to be the Spider-Man that Mark you're discussing. Sorry, Darryl, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's exactly it. And then, like I said about his Peter portrayal, is that he's playing the genius Peter Parker. He's not playing the sort of Mr. Magoo, like everything bad happens, but I skate through. Peter Parker, like he's playing, like, I guess in the comics it'd be Parker Industries, Peter Parker, but just a younger version of that. So I think if that's what they were going for, I think they nailed it. And again, he does a great job as both Spider-Man and Peter. And then, that whole with great power conversation that they have together, like I think that really solidified when he's going to go going forward as what you're looking for.
How did we feel generally about the death of Aunt May? Do we feel it was necessary? Because they never even mention Uncle Ben in this universe, which is totally fine. I don't care. Again, like the Batman parents things, I don't need to see him die every time. But I was legitimately surprised when they killed that Marissa Tomei character, knowing how much people seem to like her.
Same. I was genuinely surprised. I thought, okay, like she's gonna make it, and then as soon as she said, "With great power, there must also come great responsibility," it's like, oh shit, she's gonna die now. Like, fuck.
That was as soon as she said it, I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah. That was tough. I mean, I put in the Discord. If you're following, you're not on the Discord. First off, why get in there? Like put in there. It's like I cried 3 times in this movie, and that was one of them, for sure. Like that was just gut wrenching. She was I think like a sort of like a comedic Aunt May to start. Like, oh, Marissa Tomei's got a hot aunt. Like that's really funny. And then like she built herself up in the second one a little bit more, and then in this one she really like solidified herself as like a legit amazing Aunt May. Even if it's a complete 180 from what you get traditionally in the comics. And I was like, so I made that connection with her, and then she just gets taken out, especially because it was Peter's fault. Again, Peter's fault for not killing when he could have, or stopping the person.
And I like how there's like a nexus moment between all 3 of them. Like no matter what reality or multiverse that you're in, there's always that nexus point that like builds your character to be who it needs to be, and which is like, even if it's Aunt May or if it's Uncle Ben, like they're gonna give you that speech, and it's like you're gonna think that you killed him, it was your fault, and it was like each one of them has to go through that moment, and then they come to that realization. But like I like that there's nexus points that I think that you can't control, and they're gonna dive deeper into that, into like the multiverse of stuff like that.
I wanted to ask about J. Jonah Jameson, because he plays a pretty, although he's not in it a ton, he plays a pretty outsized role in this as the guy who he's basically the Alex Jones of this universe at this point. He's
100% Alex Jones, supplements and all.
Yeah, exactly. Once they mentioned the supplements, I was like, okay, they're not even trying to hide it anymore. They're just going full Alex Jones. But I was very happy to see J. Jonah Jameson out there, especially, being what it was. It's J.K. Simmons is irreplaceable in this role, and the fact that he tried to fucking slum it over at DC for a movie was offensive to me.
He's in all sorts of superhero stuff. He's Invincible too.
He's great there too.
Yeah.
No, he was amazing.
Thundering voice. Gotta have
Thundering. All right. I don't really know what else to say about this other than just pointing back at things and saying, like, this is cool. Oh, Darryl, I wanted to get your thoughts. How would you feel if they tried to bring Jamie Foxx back to be this new cool Electro instead of dorky guy that tried to fight Andrew Garfield?
I mean, I would have much rather seen this Electro, honestly, than what we got. I honestly, though, I think everyone had their run. Like, there's no need to bring back any of these guys besides Willem Dafoe. He's the only one who established more for himself going forward in terms of villains. But I don't think we need really any of them. Like Flint Marko didn't do much of. He did much of nothing the whole time. So like, yeah, I like the look of him, but I'm good. We can say good peace out to Jamie Foxx Electro.
Okay. I liked how they incorporated the comic book mask to some extent, where they like had at some moments the electricity forming around his eyes, like the mask that we got in the comic books. That was great.
How do we feel about Doctor Strange? And should we do end credit scenes?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's just start with the last one first, since it was essentially just a trailer for Multiverse of Madness. Like, that was not a post-credit scene. That was just an advertisement, which is slightly upsetting. But yeah, I mean, it looks good, and I like that they brought up the evil Doctor Strange. That was a recent comic book run in like 2013, 2014, I want to say. It was really well done, but it wasn't specifically the Multiverse of Madness one. But I'm overall excited for that movie, which is weird considering that I didn't really care for Humperdinck Bumblesnatch in this movie.
Didn't we get a what
I liked him
episode?
in this.
It was the what if talk, yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. So like he's a guy that eventually realizes he can go throughout the multiverse, kill other Doctor Strange or other Sorcerers Supreme. So kind of like Attorneys General, but Sorcerers Supreme. Yes.
Yeah, they're saying that the evil one has like a purple eye or something like that. So they think they might be harnessing the same kind of dark world energy that Agatha had. So I think they might be going that route, and that's why they have Wanda involved in here. And I like how they're like teaming up as well. Like, again, the best part about the Marvel universe is that you can take these top actors and actresses and just like pair them up and be like, all right, here's new adventure, boom, on your way.
Well, and then you can also introduce like America Chavez is in Multiverse of Madness, so you can like have these huge names and then bring in someone that a lot of people don't know about. She's like the Captain America of her universe, which is like a whole like an Amazon universe basically. Sort of like if Wonder Woman had her own universe, and that's how they were all raised instead of just Thermopylae, it was their entire world was that. And so you get to introduce all these new characters too, and build them up and add some sort of credibility to their fame. I think that's a really cool thing that Marvel does a really good job of.
Wasn't there a comic book run with Wanda where she's trying to search the multiverse to a universe where her kids are still alive?
House of M.
House of M is so fucked.
Yeah, it's very disturbing, and like the things that basically your mind does to you when your family is taken. It's very dark and twisted.
You get glimpses in WandaVision of like set up for House of M, and then if you read the comic The Visions, you get to see like the repercussions from that too, where Vision gets a wife and it's based off Wanda, and it's crazy.
That was a Tom King book that won basically every Eisner Award that year just for being weird and out there and really, really good.
So good.
Okay.
Is that the route they take?
Well, it could be. So the likely scenario as to why they bring in Scarlet Witch here is that they're trying to show that there are different kinds of magic. There's like even Wong in this movie mentioned like the fine line that you walk between like chaos magic, which is what Wanda uses, and Agatha has a different type of magic, and then you've got like the structured magic that they use, like Doctor Strange. So it is a lot different. But that's most likely how they're going to bring all this together in Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
Love that.
What about the other post-credit scene?
Okay, let's talk about it. So is this their way of getting Tom Hardy out of the Tom Holland verse? Because he's gone now, right?
No. I read it like afterwards. I was thinking, he's like, I got to get to New York because he's in the Andrew Garfield universe. And so Brick might get his wish and get some more Andrew Garfield interaction in what would be the third Venom. You bring in Andrew Garfield for his third movie to let him finish out a trilogy, something like that. But he's definitely coming back.
Wow, you think they're going to keep getting Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield out here to keep doing these movies?
I would love it.
I think just Andrew Garfield. I think Tobey is done and done. Like I think he did this as like a send off. And it even showed like he gets stabbed in the back and all. Like I think he's done.
Yeah, I definitely thought they were going to kill him. Same.
But Sony needs to keep sort of setting themselves up to be able to break away when they need to. So like this movie, they could have broke away anytime they want now after wiping everyone's memory because the Sony and Marvel deal wasn't down pat until more recently. And so like I think by them setting up another universe, it allows them to keep creating the content that they need to keep the license. And that's like legal stuff, which is really dumb, but if it can create really cool storylines, I'm here for it. But I think they are going to move on and maybe have an additional Andrew and Tom Hardy movie.
Yeah, that would be really cool because I did call it, be like, oh, what if they got Tom Hardy into the fucking Marvel universe? Hilarious Drader moment. But I would say, I think like this is a perfect way to retcon everything that happened throughout and just
Yeah.
be like, all right, we can get a new Spider-Man because there's a millions, but putting up this avenue to just retcon all of that Spider-Man. Does Tom Holland, is he still under contract for any more movies?
Yeah.
Do we know?
Yep.
He's got three more in this.
Yeah, sick. Okay, cool.
Were any of you thinking that Miles Morales was going to show up, like animated Miles Morales would show up in this? Because I thought that would have been really cool.
Something. I thought they would do some like, and there may be something in the background even, but like something where they would show like his universe sort of like glitching through. I thought like even at the end when the credits were going and the Columbia Pictures sign came up and then like paused for a second, I was like, it's gonna glitch. I'm just waiting for it to glitch, and they could have just done that and then just kept going through, and I've been like, that's perfect. That's all I needed.
That would have put the fucking internet on blaze for
No joke.
nuts.
I think the most unexpected moment is if they had Ned one more time do like, all right, Peter Parker, and look for him, and people are like, wait, we already got the other two. What's the other one? And they, I don't know, give us like a shadow of a Miles Morales Spider.
So I talked about it with my wife.
Oh, that wouldn't work. Never mind. He's not Peter Parker. So I take that.
No,
back.
no, you're on the right track though. I said the same thing. Where I was like, if they would have said instead of like Peter Parker, if they said like, because they knew everyone who knows who Spider-Man was like,
Yeah.
who knows Spider-Man, and it like would have opened up and just saw like the sneakers or something, like
Yeah.
because you don't have it casted, you just show the sneakers and then like it closes and he can't get it back up and like can't open the hole again. That would have been, I think that would have been a really cool reference.
Yeah. With the post credit with Venom, what were they insinuating with the symbiote on the bar at the end? Like who's gonna
Basically,
get-
well,
Go ahead.
it's going to be Spider-Man. Like it's in my opinion. Obviously, this is just
it's
what
gonna
I think
find
is going to happen.
Spider-Man.
Well, it's going to be like Secret Wars when he goes off planet and the
Okay.
machine in the comic gives him a new suit. He's going to get this power and realize that he's stronger, and then he's going to realize that it's going to try to take over his brain and make him do shit that he doesn't want to do. That's what I see happening.
I didn't know if they was up there.
Yeah.
Why
it was
didn't they get
Craven-
Vulture?
So Craven was like doing this, and then Scorpion was right behind him, and then Rhino was on his own.
We should have had Michael
Vulture
Keaton
didn't
in
show
this.
up. Yeah. I was actually, that could have been your actual six for the Sinister Six,
Mm-hmm.
showing up in this movie. And
Talking about what each day was like when we were there.
All right, very cool. I just got a notification that our broadcast ended for some reason, but I think it's still going.
Oh yeah. Oh no, it ended. I'm looking.
Whatever. We'll just wrap this up. Thanks to everybody who tuned in. You can find us on social media at the Chumpcast. Darryl, thanks so much. It's good to catch up with you as always. Even though I can just send you a message at any time and just tell you to fuck off. Still love you.
that's fine. I expect those.
Good. All right. So thanks for tuning in, everybody, and until next time.
Chumps out, motherfucker.